this down.
Could we bring that? That's the question.
Yeah, I just did. See that? It goes down.
But it only brought this down.
But I think, how did I do that?
Because this is coming.
I think there was a pause on here. See, like up here, Dave?
Okay.
See if you hit it. Pauses. So right now, it's on a pause.
I'm just trying to.
Yeah, well, no, I get it. So if it's on a pause, all we're going to do is bring this back up. You see, it's not picking up on this.
Okay.
Okay, but I got to make sure that that is correct. Because this is what kind of messed me up last time. Test 2.
Like say Joe, you wouldn't say because they had to sit.
Go ahead and grab a mic, man. Test them. Oh, because they're all off anyway.
Fifth ward is not.
And
How you doing? Testing 1 2 3 2 2 1 2 2 3. Testing 1 2 3.
Last
See, it's not
year,
working.
we might have had-
Go ahead and pull that mic again.
Parish Police Jury meeting for today. Good morning. Good afternoon. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3.
There it goes. Okay.
1,000-1,500 people in and out. But, and they're not having bingo.
Okay. So I'm going to bring this one down.
Other than when the music's playing, and we never have more than,
So I brought this one down, and then I'm going to hit pause on this. Pause.
Okay.
Now, what you want to do is go back to this. You hit exit out, and it says it's ready, okay? And it starts in 20
Yeah,
seconds.
yeah.
So what goes on in 20 seconds, it's not necessarily going to show up on, it's going to take about 10 minutes for it to, for them to receive the packets and get rolling, okay? But for right now, we'll put this here, we'll put this underneath, and we're good. See, it says live. So all it's going to do is show that. When she gets in here, she'll put up a up on the screen, police jury meeting, and what we'll do is just go and we'll point to that. Let me loosen this up. I had it kind of tight.
And I got it.
So we'll go to that. You just kind of watch where you are. Like you can move this a little bit more toward you if you want to, but not too much. You don't want to go too much on that. And then just sit there and guide it like you want. Like get in the middle. Say, okay, let me see this one. Let me see that one. Hey, is that unlocked? Yeah. Oh. Is it standing room only? All right, and that's it. So what I'll do, I'll take like the first 5 minutes.
What's that big ring you got on?
Like when they do that stuff, and then I'll switch it over to you. And you sit
It looks like a championship ring.
And then if you wanted to, sometimes you can go in and tighten up on it like this. Like let's say these two are discussing something, or if you wanted all three, you just, yeah, you can see what I'm doing here. See? See, so I'm backing out of that, and you can look at that camera. You don't have to look at this one. Okay, so right now you see he's coming up there. You can see him,
Right.
and then what they do, they put up on the screen here. They'll put up who he is, with the title, what he's doing. Okay, but I don't know. I would say this is probably not going to pass. Hey, that would be my guess. But that's it. That's all there is to it.
It was, but like they pointed out, the hot topic is back on the meeting agenda.
So we'll just do it like this.
Hey,
How you doing? Yeah, I met him a couple of times.
that helps. That helps.
Yes, indeed.
No, because that's what both of them were just talking about. There's two hot topics on the meeting today.
I don't want to be in your way. Let me go sit over here.
Go sit over there.
Topic number 1 is the tracking devices, and he said the other hot topic was.
You doing good?
Doing good.
Y'all putting this on your webpage?
Webpage and the YouTube channel. So both of them. So you can go to the webpage, or you can go to YouTube and just type in
State
Cajun
championship team
TV.
baseball. First thing he asked me, how much money more on your check?
Oh, well, there you go.
That's okay. Nothing. Congratulations.
Because I'll do payroll.
Authorizing the sheriff to be in charge of, the sheriff being in charge of the permit, and the sheriff charging $250 plus whatever security costs.
Oh, okay. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna put.
That chair there is gonna have some. I'm just sitting here looking and I'm like, I just gonna want.
It's nice and easy, man.
Maybe he did. Jack,
There is no box cast. It's a different company for Android. It's only for iOS.
So what you can do now is go up and look at our website.
I went to dashboard.boxcast, where it sent me.
So we changed something.
Yeah, I think it is.
So if you look here,
Now she's saying,
you have one that says Cajun TV. And that's where it's gonna show up.
That's not until
It's right here. It'll show up there.
No, no.
So right
It's
now I
not
have
until
nothing.
later on.
Because it's what we're waiting on it
Yeah, I
to
think-
sync up.
I think Laura said she got October 11. So it's not until.
So if it gets about a quarter till, then I'm gonna hit
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Say, hey,
You don't like it still, huh?
Hey, they got me hooked, old Travis got me hooked that first time after that. I can't get enough. Then we get tired of seeing me.
That's okay.
No, I lost count.
I didn't count on the next one.
That was a lot of wine. We just left and
no, it's just standard we do every year.
on top.
It's just our all
But
system
I'm
bridge
talking with
resolution.
Drew, we were done.
Really?
Yeah.
No, why make you do that?
It was a good time.
Basically, all you say is that you will apply for their
hard work is
Oh,
because I've already sent in our ownership paper.
next, he's scheduled
I've
for
got to
next
go over
week.
every bridge infrastructure that we have, check it against their weight limits and everything.
Yeah, they're gonna meet over there.
It don't take long to do it, I got all those spreadsheets.
Yeah, well, I got a meeting across the street.
You know, right there, you-
I guess.
So I'm gonna go over there and then after that, I'll go.
Okay, I'll be over there.
So we're trying to put that meeting.
Dang, we need to open up a left field account, everything coming out of left field. I got another name for it, but that's a nice name.
Yeah, that's nice.
Nice
It was already over there. No surprise.
That's
Morning sometimes, you got
Let's go ride a little bit.
When the old man sweating.
Go get my stuff.
Or late.
And that's very positive.
John, you coming from Boston? You want to go down there?
Yeah, meet you at the barn. Just go out there.
You came in the barn, we'll have to say.
In fact, this year, we're gonna make it
You passing right there?
But I'll just meet y'all out there. I'll meet y'all out there.
Does anybody know where the property belongs, right?
I got the lead.
What's up?
It's doing whatever we're doing right now.
But think about it, it's 5 minutes back.
Yeah, but it's sending it to YouTube.
Good enough.
Everything's up. Okay. I said, let me check YouTube.
Can you give them a call?
So when she ties it in,
What time he got?
then yeah, we're gonna make noise for a little while. It's just the way it is. Because what I can do, when I can edit it back. That's why I do the VR, I just edit it back. After that starts, right when the meeting starts.
So when it's done, just hit save.
Oh, you'll hit in broadcast. You can go to your deal and say in broadcast.
Yeah, I happened to look, I was like, wait, it's on, it was popping in the body.
Have you seen that? And that's it. There's no excuse.
No,
It's okay, they can hear us. I said, we're not, just as I said, we're not the Saints, we're not LSU, and we're certainly not KALP.
back to talking about Clay Cooper. He bought an 8K GoPro and uses just this on the 8K GoPro. It stands like this and has the little flip screen. That's it. And then has a little button, a little remote that he can, whoever's using it can use. They have to turn it side to side, but
Yeah, I want to get a stand working.
I was like,
Yeah, I know you can get it. Just, I said right now I'm crawling.
no. But it was neat to see the.
Yeah.
I was like, that's kind of neat. This. Oh, store.
Really good. Well, I told you I went Friday. I tested it at the. It worked good. I mean, it would look good. It had the sprinklers on out there, so I was hitting it, so you can see it. I mean, clear and clear.
No, I'm just things that because we haven't really been able to mess with it. So then last week, seeing the way his GoPro set up, because he leaves it on the stand. He's like, no. So when they go to do their football or baseball or basketball, whatever they go to do, they just bundle all of it up, put it into like our farmer bag, put it in that. Now he had this for the mics. He's like, you guys, but he had that. He said, best.
It's like the guy told us, you know, I said, once you get it, you got it. So right now, we can't.
How we doing, guys? Good,
Doing good?
okay? Very good, sir. Very good.
Because once I was here last week doing it, it was like crunch.
No, I mean,
And this week it's fine. But you're up. So
yeah, I need that.
yeah, somebody needs to sit right here.
So I guess go ahead and turn the mics on because they're about to do a public hearing.
Wait. This way it's 2:40. I mean, I need to set their time. About 10 more minutes. Oh, I can turn them on.
No, they have a public hearing. They have a public hearing.
They do?
In 5 minutes. For the abandonment of Jail Strange Road.
Anybody wishing to speak on anything on the agenda, you need to fill out a card. I'm doing all right, Mr. Reggie.
Hey, what's up, big guy?
All that money we get.
Super nice. Hey, everything good? Great.
I said you can loosen it or tighten it.
How'd it come out last week? I didn't even watch it. Did all right?
Yeah, we fixed them all.
And he said, we all picked him up before. I said, we picked him up. I said, out the storm. Out the storm.
Tell them to be careful. I tried to write that.
Want to leave it on, because if you turn it off, we'll forget. We'll get that. Can't control it.
What happens in that? Okay.
So my next question. So it says broadcast evening 2 hours. Let's say we are getting close to that 2 hours and it's
You can
say,
go on there and extend it 30 minutes. There's a little deal that says extend 30 minutes.
okay, so add 30 minutes.
No, I didn't get
Pretty neat,
to.
I think.
Yes. I knew we were gonna get to that point. It was like, the first time I figured it was gonna be rough. Like you said, jittery and nervous. But after watching, I don't have a.
No, I wanted to make sure our logo was there. The graphic was there.
Tomorrow he's gonna email that. The graphic for football.
Yeah, already. They're all there.
No, for him.
Oh, did he send one?
He said tomorrow. He's almost done.
I told him we're out to Jones for the first time.
And Monkey General would like to take possibly not.
I didn't get it.
I know, I said the same thing.
Here we go.
I'm about an hour away.
I saw you pictures.
Celebrity here. They're gonna have something on Facebook. They had a call. I told them to come back. I'll be down there. I mean, you.
And now, this one here helped with this. Back in the 30s, went to the morgue. Well, when nobody goes to the turn, nobody goes
Okay?
and
Probably just to the back.
She called me.
you take one out. Now,
You can't get in the elevator.
Just put.
She said, I'm going to do this light.
Now,
She said she was putting it up.
Whoever the hell was that?
So water coming down the Kool-Aid is now
nature, that's how nature works.
You know, just like she moving in. She didn't move that much.
But one would, well, nature took that. Said, hey, anyone want to get away out of the sun.
Yeah.
But it can't now because the land keeps it going. And it sends it down that little channel. Right where it does, and then he was showing me something about that bridge.
But it's far, so it's not.
One time he did. But see, when Parish comes in here, it hits a left. She said she went up.
I went by too, and then they
You run the line.
Yeah, my fault. We have the public hearing now on closing GL Strange Road. Anybody, with anything to say about it? Oh, we have some more.
Where you been at, man?
We're gonna open this up for left field account. Ain't the one, the man that lives on it.
I'm leaving.
That's that for us.
Hey, guys.
Wait a minute.
Thank you. Sitting right here. Sitting right here. Sit down right there.
See, 1, 2, 3.
There to have some.
I signed some.
Okay, yeah.
Take off that one.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, perfect. Let me go grab that.
It's on COVID.
Yeah, you took that word off.
Yes, ma'am.
Good to see you again.
So she gave me this one and this, but we couldn't sign it. That's the one that had,
Equipment here. This is a Panasonic camera. Okay. Not always a video because they're without the streaming. But like if I would just do interviews with
He says things he should. I'm sure.
Well, y'all get a microphone. Talk loud. Yeah, exactly. I'll bring them.
All of them might be coming to town one day.
That's the other shirt.
Here, no objection, I'm gonna close the meeting for the GL Strange Road. Anybody wishing to speak on anything on the agenda, please fill out a card.
no, sir. I got it on there. Can't do it on right there request.
What's he talking about?
I can't just vote it on. Yeah, that's all. Yeah, it's on there. For the bank.
take that, I'm gonna take that phone away from you, man. I'm gonna take that phone away from you.
I was trying to beg my financial advisor to make this simple, but he said,
He's bad as me.
you're gonna have to wait after November 7th.
Yeah.
Oh, he has to leave that Jessica.
She says there's no contract, she ain't paying my salary.
I think, yeah, I don't know how my computer is. They're not always.
Told me to her yesterday. The Lord.
They work for the postman.
But she's saying she doesn't sound like she's
They're not
Biggest measure of a sinner's life.
It's not a good thing. So the meeting's the 22nd.
If you highlight it all, it'll go to the change. There you go. Change it. Yeah. Put it on 60, let's see what what is their
How you doing? Across the street. Good deal.
I heard you call Jane. Said that she called me. We didn't know
Yeah, I tried to go.
Well, I don't think we Gets into the line. Somebody got a ranch to come in. They don't like to do it. It's not like business.
Okay, it's 5 o'clock. I'd like to call a meeting of the Avoyelles Parish Police Jury to order. Today's date's August 13th, 2024. It's 5 o'clock. I'd like Mr. Thomas to lead us in the invocation, followed by the pledge by Mr. Mark Barrett.
Dear Lord, please give us the wisdom and the knowledge to do our job here, and give us the strength to complete our work. And also, please look after our colleague, our friend, Pop Keller. We understand he is trying to get a date to get his back surgery done. So would everybody please say a prayer for him too. Thank you.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I'd like to welcome everybody to today's meeting. For the jurors' sake, we have microphones in front of us, so if we have little conferences up here, make sure you cover it, because everything is getting recorded, so be careful there. We got a 27-item busy schedule. I'd just like to recognize somebody. We have a Hall of Famer in the house. Mr. Ronald Coco is, we got a Hall of Fame for 20, how many years, 20-something?
20, yeah. 20, yeah.
Well, thank you for working with our youth, and well-deserved, proud of you, okay?
Thank you.
All right, I have let's get roll call done and we'll proceed.
Darrell Wiley.
Here.
Mark Boyle.
Here.
Travis Franks.
Here.
Ernest Anderson. Sam Pierce.
Here.
Clyde Benson.
Here.
Alan Thomas.
Here.
McKinley Keller. And Jacob Coco.
Here. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and let Dr. Falls wants to speak to us for a few seconds, so I'm gonna let her do that now.
Not accustomed to the microphone.
Okay.
No, I wanted to just make a request, that's just a suggestion, given some of the maybe misunderstandings in the past about the specifics of projects, I was going to ask the jury to consider requesting updates for the projects and initiatives that are done either monthly or quarterly. And given that we're streaming now, it's also gonna be a way to inform the public about the activities that are taking place with separate projects, you know, related. I'm thinking specifically the latest one that I was involved in with the Solomon Northrop statue. To have an update from the committee would be real valuable, to know specifically the placement of the additional trees, so that if the jury has input, and at the same time, it can also inform the public about the value of the store, that historic event that took place in the parish. So I was thinking requesting updates could avoid future confusion or maybe unexpected outcomes, better inform the public. It would enhance the perception of, you know, total transparency, and it could also increase accountability, you know, on both sides. Thank you.
Okay. All right, duly noted. We tried to do some of that in our committee meeting on projects, mostly that's road, bridge, stuff like that, but duly noted.
Yeah,
Okay.
we send out an update at least once a month,
Well,
but that's just on our regular deals. Any projects that we have running through maintenance, I'll update in there, but if it's not
Which
through
one?
maintenance,
yeah,
then
but stuff like that
I was
need to be
talking about-
Works
updated.
good.
The
Yeah.
other, you know, kind of non-routine
Okay,
projects.
duly noted.
3 or 4 years ago, they used to publish them in the paper too. That, you know, that's something.
All right, okay. Need a motion to adopt the minutes of the regular meeting held on July 9th, 2024, as printed in the weekly news and emailed to all jurors. Motion by Mr. Thomas, second by Mr. Coco. Question or comments from the audience? Jurors, I'm sure we all fine with it, okay? All right, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. All right, number 6, Jacob.
I make a motion to approve Pan American invoice for road to the engineering,
All right.
$18,000.
Have a motion, I need a second by Mr. Thomas. Question, comments from jurors? Question, comments from the audience? We up to par on it, and everything's good still on it? Okay. Okay, all in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carried. All right, number 7, Jake.
All right, make a motion set the September aggregate budget for road to 2 for $6,000.
Okay, have a second?
I would like to,
Give me a, all right, second by Mr. Pierce, okay? Go ahead.
what is the amount that y'all are wanting to go to?
6,000 for this month, 6,000.
6,000 for the month?
Yeah.
Okay, y'all are aware you're 253% over budget, right?
Hey, but can we go to road commission again?
So it
That's
was,
what-
we
because of the-
budgeted 20,000, we're at 73,000 right now. So,
Well,
All right,
we're ready to road commission, or we're ready with the road commission?
okay, so you gonna table it?
Yeah, try a motion, make a motion to table it.
All right, we made a motion to table it, second by Mr. Thomas. Question, comments, from jurors?
Mr. Coco, if that budget that you have needs to be amended for whatever reasons, hopefully we can do that. So in the meantime, before the next meeting or committee, we'll need to look at that and adjust that. I just don't want to adjust it at the end of the year, of the fiscal year. If something needs to be adjusted. So,
We'll probably be on next commission.
thank you.
All right, questions, comments from the audience? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion to table, signify by saying aye. Any opposed? All right, we're gonna table that. Number 8, Mr. Franks.
Yes, sir. Consider resolution calling for an election on December 7th, 2024 to levy a millage for library purposes. Again, I'm a motion for this. It was brought to us as a recommendation by the library board to have it on December 7th. That was not what I wanted, but again, that was a vote by the police jury and what the library board wanted. So
I'll second that. All right, second by Mr. Burrell. Any other comments from jurors? Questions or comments from the audience? Just to be clear, this is just the library tax. It will be in December. The drainage will be in November. Okay? All right, all in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? That motion carries. All right,
I'll take number
all
9.
right, take it, Mr. Benson.
That's for Byron Contracting Company that did the sewer and road work on Patricia Park. Once this has been done by Mr. Kevin, I'm asking for a resolution.
All right, got a motion to adopt the resolution. I get a second? All right, second by Mr. Thomas. Questions, comments from jurors?
Kevin, can you make sure that they don't break the road with tapping sewage and all?
Everything's completed,
Yeah, we complete.
all work's completed.
Yeah, but how many times it's been done?
No,
That
all
road's
work's
been changed at least 3 times.
All work's completed, and, are you talking about in the future?
Yeah.
Okay,
You know what they go do, huh?
well, I mean, that'd be, who tapped into the sewer over
Different ones,
there? Okay,
but they break the road.
I got you, I got you.
I agree with you, Mr. Martin. A lot of times they've cut the road, the tap in.
Okay,
You never heard of boring.
Yeah.
all right, we'll make sure that, no, we got a brand new road all the way back.
That's right. Like I said, this is the 3rd time, brand new road.
I got you.
All right, any other comments from jurors? Questions or comments from the audience? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, I need a motion to authorize the DA to file an injunctive relief against Johnny Lochney. All right, Parish, second by Mr. Thomas. Any comments?
Is that with the planning commission?
That's what
Yeah,
the planning
this-
commission, I've been told that he's been in violation for almost 4 years, and it's one excuse after another, so it's time to move.
Right.
We've done the phone calls, we've done the letters, we get the crickets back.
Correct.
It's time to do something.
Comments from the audience? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye. Any opposed? That motion carries. Number 11, Mr. Frank.
Yes, I wanted to adopt the motion to adopt, first the motion to adopt a resolution for sales tax fairness ordinance. Jurors, it was in the committee, and then again, it's several pages down in your packet, wanting again to spell out more of what we should do as a police jury, and hopefully municipalities within our government that can properly let the school board know of any new businesses that do come about within Avoyelles Parish. I think there's some things that do slip through the cracks, and I just want to make sure that the police jury is doing their job to adequately report those businesses to the sales collection or collector. And so this again is just a resolution that we're in, we want to be in compliance, and I think that the school board as well as hopefully the municipalities will all pass the same and be in favor and in letting the school board know. I think communications has failed over the years, and there's a lack of the sales collectors knowing exactly what's going on in different parts of the parish.
Okay. Motion to
I'll
adopt.
second that.
All right, second by Mr. Burrell. Any comments from the jurors? I'll make one. There's a lot of money out there that needs to be collected that has not been collected. A whole lot. Yes, sir?
By the way, there is a meeting that's set up, and
Yeah.
we'll be going to it, so we're gonna do everything we can. There's a lot of past.
All right, questions, comments from the audience?
I just wanted to say that every month, occupational licenses are, approved by the Marshall City Council. I don't know whether they relay that information or not.
Should be going to the school.
But, if they don't, maybe speaking with them, because there've been a number of new occupational licenses recently.
Any other comments? All right, hearing none. All in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Number 12, Mr. Franks.
Yes, sir, your packet, your litter abatement officer position. We have it listed as litter
No,
abatement.
you back up one. Number 12.
Oh, sorry, I missed it, number 12. Number 12, yes. We want to get some requests for proposals, RFPs, for fiscal agent. I brought this in front of the committee last week on Thursday. We had the privilege of hearing from Cottonport and Simsport Bank. That is, of my opinion, that is a parish bank. There are other banks in the parish, but I felt those were the two. As the finance chairman, and they both spoke last week in front of you, and I want to first a motion to validate that we will take proposals from them, from Cottonport as well as Simsport, on what they can offer us and where we can essentially park our money. It's been with Capital One, and I think that we need to all be within Avoyelles. Money, our efforts, our everything, we need to be within Avoyelles, and I think that those two banks truly represent us. And that is just my opinion, and that's my motion. I first.
All right, your motion includes 2 banks only, correct?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Second by Mr. Pierce. Questions, comments from George? Mr. Benson?
I'm gonna say, I would like for all the banks to be, to have a chance, to play a part in this, because we have employees that work at these, different banks that live in the parish. And the banks, they pay taxes. I think it would look more fair if we included it.
Okay.
I don't know, Jamie, if you were here when, or maybe Lynn, you might know, we offered that years ago for the different banks to, participate.
We have money.
Correct.
I know, but, this is not the first time it's done.
Many years ago, we had a consortium of all the banks in the parish, all the local banks, and where we participated.
Any other comment?
Yeah, the only bank that we're taking business away from would be Capital One, which is actually a credit card company. I don't think that we're gonna hurt these other banks by not doing business with them. But I'm very much in favor of an Avoyelles Parish Bank doing Avoyelles Parish business.
Any other comments?
I don't have a
Look at your rate on returning from these other banks.
I don't have a
From a
problem.
local bank, from a, local bank compared to a national bank. What is the payback on, because you're probably talking CDs or something like that, so what is your payback compared to a local? I think it shouldn't be just a decision based on being a local bank, it should be, you're dealing with taxpayers' money, so what is the greatest rate of return to get back? The one is paying 3% compared to 5%. I think that should be a factor as well. Put a score sheet out and look at it as far as, score it by being a local bank, get so many points. What is the rate of return, which I think should be very much considered, because even the banks invest their money where they're gonna get the biggest rate of return back on their money. So why would you put it somewhere and get
That's why they're gonna make a
3%?
proposal.
And why would you send someone to get 5%?
Okay, all right, let the judge finish their comment. Anybody else?
And that was pretty much my opinion, is that, we deal with tax-based money. We gotta look for the best deal. We can't just look in cash. That's what I'm saying.
You can ask Mr. Franks to amend his motion. I don't know if you want to do that. Now we have to vote on what's there. Comments from the audience?
We have a second already, we just need to vote, right?
Any other comments? Francis jumped the gun on me, but that's okay. All right, the motion is just to get info from 2 banks. Okay, that's what we're looking at. All right, all in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, got 1 opposition. Okay, number 13, Mr. Franks, you on the road.
Yes, we want to advertise jury for a litter abatement / permit officer. We've been talking about this for a while. We've had an application out. We did not set the salary. And starting this process, remember, we were going to talk about the salary. And we made up a little committee. And We came up with, we want to continue to advertise for that position, and the salary be $50,000 a year with no benefits.
And a vehicle.
And what?
And a vehicle.
No, we have 2 vehicles ready for the abatement officer. One that the permit office doesn't really use, and then also, isn't that right, Jamie? Health unit has another truck, like a 2023 that they want, so, it should be, that person, with it. So I first the motion, and, again, guys, everything's so high these days. We want somebody post certified, we want them competent, we want them professional, and then we want them to serve the parish in the right way. These are not gonna be very, enjoyable conversations, I'm sure, between the officer and also who they're going to, but again, ongoing, we need to not let up on this and take litter every day, that we need to clean up our parish, and it's not gonna cost everyone within Avoyelles Parish a lot of money. This is just the first step.
Travis, second, I need a second. Second by Mr. Thomas, all right, now, question, comments, Jury?
So Travis, a position, would it be also considering the permit office also working?
Correct.
Yes, sir. So what we're doing right now, just a little bit more, met up with Mrs. Sam and then also April. So we're going and setting up, we're having online, we're getting the website with a lot more information, but we're gonna have, anonymous hotlines, for permits, people who do not have permits. Again, we should be fair to all, not just to some, or, there's a lot that slips through the cracks. So we're gonna have anonymous hotline for that, and then also again, for litter, that we're gonna have, obviously outside of the municipalities, which, we'll have some work to do when it comes to that, but we're in the process of doing that today. And then that officer will have to, and April will have to deem through those complaints and move forward.
And this officer, he'll be full-time?
Yes, sir.
So we have a policy that says that, any full-time employee receives benefits. So how we not give this employee?
My motion is not to, Mr. Benson, as we know, benefits are very expensive.
Yeah.
And we cannot put a number on it today, because tomorrow it's different, and it's never lower, it's always higher. Benefits are getting so high, and then, to people, a lot of people don't look into benefits and what they're worth, right? They're just looking at how much are you gonna pay me?
So that's not my question. My
We can
question
pay
is,
them as a vendor
are we gonna
$10.99.
hire someone? And I'm not talking about the amount.
Right.
I'm just talking about how we gonna hire someone that's gonna be a full-time employee, and we're gonna pay everyone else benefits, and we're not gonna pay this employee benefits. That just don't seem right.
It's parochial retirement rates and the state's rates.
Well, we can amend the law.
And that'd be a question for our attorney.
Well, we'd have to, if that is what the
Have to
policy
amend
says,
it.
then we'd have to amend the policy.
For new hires, just hang on, let's get through up here.
I would like to, a little further amend it to look at people who are not post-certified if they're willing to get post-certified.
Let's try this
That's a
first.
good point, too.
I think we said we try this first, and then if it don't go through, then
A good person because they're not post-certified, if they're willing to go through the class work.
let's try it and see, and then if it doesn't, then we can look into it.
Are we gonna vote on it with the no benefits, and our policy says?
That's the motion made.
Could we, within the law by doing it?
Well, right now, we're just.
We haven't hired anybody
Right.
yet, so we still have a month or two. We can
Right. There's
set
just
another
time to do it.
motion or another agenda item, right, Jonathan?
Correct.
Committee, and then get it to where we can,
Yeah, if I understand your motion correctly, you're just asking for approval to advertise for the position.
yes.
So the position hasn't been filled yet, so there's still time to amend if necessary.
We need to amend that. Maybe for new hires. Is anybody applying for this?
We haven't put it yet.
Oh, yeah.
This is where it's been advertised.
Any other comments from the jurors? All right, question, comments from the audience?
Just want to say at the State Department, when we had issues like that, we contracted with individuals and we weren't required to pay benefits. But
That's
they
another
accepted-
option as well. We could treat it as an
Mhm.
independent contract.
Yeah.
So if we contract, can I speak? If we contract, then will our insurance policy cover this guy because we have a contract.
Well, we'd have to check the policy first.
And I'm talking about our liability.
We don't have liability insurance.
Workman's comp.
Workers' comp,
Yeah,
yeah.
we have that.
As a contract employee?
Yeah, you have to include them on your, to the insurance company.
Yes, sir.
Just wondering if there's been any serious discussion with the sheriff's department as to maybe having arrangements made through them to have this officer put in place through the sheriff's department, where he would already be on salary with them, have a vehicle through them, and have benefits with them.
Haven't, I know of, but I don't think it.
I mean, I don't know if it
think
can be
it'd
done
too
legally,
I don't know if he'd be receptive to it.
But, well, I mean, has anybody seriously tried?
Well, our thinking is, we formed a little court. We want to try to, you know, if the sheriff's department, in my opinion, would do their job, or any law
Well, yeah, you
enforcement
wouldn't have to do that.
Yeah, we wouldn't have to fool with any of them. But, you know, look at our parish, look how dirty it is, how litter it is. So we're trying to take steps as a governing body. You got a good point, though. I don't know if that's, I know I haven't.
I talked to the sheriff too, Mr. President, and talking to him, and he's limited with his resources today too. He says, yes, they could write a ticket for litter. He said, but when you're running 2 deputies a shift of Avoyelles Parish, you know, they're zooming down the road and getting to where they need to meet those needs. But the sheriff did not say that he would not.
We could check into
if
it.
they had somebody littering. I have to take up what he said. I just thought that we could have more control. And there is so much litter in this parish that somebody needs to be focused for 40 hours a week. Our own court.
Well, I mean,
our own fines,
that
to
would
where,
be the
you know
thing.
what? Hopefully the word can get out and hopefully it can start slowing down with the amount, because then people are gonna know, you know how Facebook is, or you know how rumors, we love to gossip in this parish. When they hear about somebody coming to this court and getting fined 100% of it, then we're gonna be serious. Otherwise, people get litter tickets, but then it goes to different courts or 12, it goes nowhere. And that's been the problem, and I think a lot of people know that. I think we're gonna try to be serious with this to the best of our abilities.
Right.
We're trying, and I mean, man,
We've been working on this.
we've been trying. And I think it'd be a good stride forward in trying.
well, I mean, I'm just asking if y'all could keep it open for consideration in case you have nobody, especially since I know you said benefits are expensive, and they are. But it seems like sheriff department might be able to get if they would put somebody dedicated to this.
And we're hoping
Dedicated
we're
to
hoping
it.
that we're gonna attract somebody that's either semi-retired or retired from the law enforcement for this job. That's what we're hoping.
That was my.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to attract. But you know, the first thing they want to know, how much you pay. So, and we're trying to come up with that. Any other comments? Mr. Jimmy?
Yeah, to address the gentleman's question, I think that what happens is, and don't want to use the word control, but if an officer was working for the sheriff, we know the sheriff a lot of times is just understaffed, stuff happens, and next thing you know, you have an officer that is set up as a litter officer, and he's getting pulled off the litter detail to go do some other sheriff stuff, okay? So, once that happens, then you kind of start losing control of what this guy's original job was. To Travis's point, the litter is so bad in this parish, you need a guy that's dedicated, that's his job, that's what he's gonna do. Personally, I wanted a guy that was gonna be on the job 40 hours plus a week, and that's all he did, but through negotiation, we had to agree on letting this guy do some permanent type work. But in doing that, then we get the vehicle and all this kind of stuff. So it became a negotiating thing. But I believe doing it this way, you have more control on where this guy is actually going to work, hours in the week.
Yes, ma'am.
Just so I understood correctly, y'all gonna if it passes, y'all are gonna advertise it as is with no benefits. If a person applies and is hired as of now, what Mr. Benson said, any full-time employee has to be covered by benefits. Jonathan, you're saying if I applied, they hired me. It's with no benefits understood that they would have to revise their policy saying for this particular employee, no benefits are being offered?
Correct.
Okay, so they could signal that out and say for the position of litter abatement officer, no benefits are to be
Right, I mean,
provided.
yeah, this is just approval of an advertisement.
Okay.
So there's still time to adjust.
Jim?
Well, the thing is here, because based on the issue raised, I mean, that obviously there's gonna be some legal questions now. So listen, I'm gonna just tell you, and y'all know this, we've been trying for at least a year to try to get this guy, get somebody hired. And if we gotta advertise again, get a guy, then sit back and negotiate this thing all over again, we're just kicking this can. So I think before we even advertise, we need to decide exactly what we're gonna do, okay? Because once we do the advertisement, I think we need to be ready to hire somebody.
We'll have that amendment, Mr. Jimmy, before anybody's hired. We'll put it on the next committee meeting.
I kind of want to piggyback on what Mr. Jimmy said, contracting it off to the sheriff department. He'd be in control of the officer. He would have no control, like he said. The sheriff would be able to pull him and put him on other assignments, and we're paying him money. So I think it's the right way that we do it.
Any other comments?
What, fund is this gonna be paid out of? Are we gonna set up a litter abatement fund, that the fines collected, this is gonna be paid out of that fine pool and?
Solid waste.
Solid waste.
With permits donating the truck, and that's where it comes from.
It's gonna start out of solid waste, and then if there's some fine money, that's gonna help to offset.
So where that fine money is gonna go into solid waste?
You talking about what?
Okay,
You
the
talking about the
person is gonna be
fines?
paid out of solid waste.
To start off.
To start off, the fine money collected, is that gonna be set in a separate, abatement of,
Mr. Jimmy, you wanna touch base on that? I mean,
I can answer that question. What'll happen is.
He's the justice of the peace that probably handling the cases, so he knows
Gotcha, okay.
more than me. Okay.
So what'll happen, the fines are gonna actually be collected through the JP court, through the litter court. Okay, once the money is collected, the fine is imposed, the court keeps the court costs, all the fine money goes to the police unit. They have an account set up that where money is gonna go in a litter account, but then the ordinance is called where some of that money comes back to the JP court to help pay some of the people involved in the litter process. But they're gonna keep half, and half of it comes back. So if there's enough money going in the litter account, then eventually some of that money can be used to offset the litter abatement officer's salary. Okay.
It's a work in progress.
Yeah.
All right, I mean.
Right, that's
we're gonna
start
have to see how
somewhere.
it goes.
But
All
what
right.
you don't wanna do is give the impression that we're out here writing tickets,
To
not
support
into
it.
nothing, just to pay a guy's salary,
Correct.
okay?
Okay, I think we discussed this enough, let's put it to a vote. All in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion carried. All right, Mr. Coco, number 15.
14.
I'm sorry, 14, I'm talking to Sam. Maybe one too many X's. Number 14.
Yeah. Need a motion to authorize the president to sign the act of transfer and acceptance for Oak Hall, Patna Board, Biobeff Road, and Geo Road bridges.
Okay, can I get a second for that? A second by Mr. Coco.
Biobeff Road. Yeah. Biobeff, excuse me.
It's okay. Question, comments from the, jurors? Question, comments from the audience? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Who seconded the previous motion?
Litter abatement.
Litter abatement, who seconded it? Was it you, Mr. Thomas? Okay, now we're on 15, Mr. Coco.
All right, approve registration for, Joey Frank to attend, LAMC conference, October.
All right, motion been made, get a second. Second by Mr. Thomas. Question, comments from the jurors? Question, comments from the audience? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, number 16, I want to introduce the mass gathering ordinance that it's in your packet. I asked you last week to look over it. I would say what we spent on that, 3 months?
3 months.
Good 3 months. Some good discussions. You know, very civil. I mean, people got upset at times, but handled real well. And I think we came up, and the sheriff was involved. I think we came up with a pretty good ordinance. So I just want to introduce this to us tonight. And we'll have we'll have a public hearing at the next meeting. And if that passes, then we can make this law. Does anybody have any comments that didn't?
Yeah, I'd like to thank the planning commission and the board that they worked on.
I'll second that, Mr. Pierce.
Yeah, I'd like to make sure everybody understands that this was done at the sheriff's request.
Correct.
We spent a lot of time, and he made a lot of demands that we actually didn't do, but it was pointed out to him that this was gonna hit all of the falls and festivals in the parish, and we went ahead with it, but there can be no exceptions to it. Corn Festival, Couchon Lake, everybody's gonna have to abide by this mass gathering, just so you know. Okay? Frank.
As I understand it, Mr. President, I just wanted to bring this up too. I'm not really sure about this, and I want to say it, and our legal counsel is here. Jonathan, it's federal, state, parish, municipality, right, in the governance or the laws. In other words, if there's a federal law, a state law cannot supersede a federal, correct?
Correct.
It has to be more than what the federal would be. So then if we look at state law, we come down to parish law. We can amend, but it has to be more than what the state law is, right? It goes all the way down to the municipality. So I guess my question would be, this ordinance right here, guys, for the whole parish. Every municipality, every festival, every gathering, and there is no road, can't close any road now for everything that's right here. That's how I'm understanding this. And Jonathan, you follow where I'm going?
I see where you're going, but you know, you're talking about federal and state, but then we're talking about
from state
collateral.
to parish.
Okay, we're talking about parish and municipalities. Municipalities govern what the rules are within municipalities.
Which they can't supersede what a parish ordinance is, correct?
Well, no, because they govern their area, we govern our area. Okay?
They have to adopt it.
Yeah, but normally I think the case has been they've always agreed with or agreed to the way the ordinance is drafted.
But this is a parish ordinance, right? A town cannot go and pass another ordinance that says we're not gonna abide by this mass gathering ordinance, right?
No.
Because parish supersedes municipality. That's where I'm coming from.
Right, but there's still jurisdictional boundaries too.
Right.
You follow what I'm saying? That they govern what they do within their municipalities. We govern things outside of the municipalities.
Thought this was parish. Am I right or wrong? Anybody know? Mr. Sam, is this parish? Is this a parish-wide ordinance?
It's a parish-wide ordinance, but we're not allowed to exempt anybody, like a church fair in a town. They can't be exempted.
Or a municipality.
Or a municipality.
I just want to be clear, because I'm not clear on that right now.
On
Go ahead. Francis, go ahead.
Okay, when it comes to, and Jonathan, you may can correct it a little bit more, but let's say like the Couchon Lake Festival. It's on the state highway, you park on the shoulder of the road there. You cannot legally park on the shoulder of the road on the state highway. The sheriff department has to enforce that. So if you enforce it at, let's just say, the Corn Festival in Bunkie. You have to also enforce it at the Couchon Delay, at the Bunkie High football game, at the Avoyelles High football game. You have to enforce it at every event. So I think that's what, and I don't want to speak for you, Travis, but I think that's what Travis is trying to explain, that if this ordinance is enforced at one event, you have to enforce it at every event. You can't just enforce it whether it's outside or inside the municipality.
Right.
If you're gonna enforce it on Highway 1, you got to enforce it on 115, you got to enforce it on 29, you got to enforce it on every highway. So that's what it is. Now, the state kind of just let everybody kind of do their own thing in every parish or town if there's no complaints. But if you start enforcing it at the Couchon Delay, then the people at the Corn Festival, then they're gonna complain and say, well, you live in park on Persian Highway at the Corn Festival.
Well, but you have to understand, we're passing written ordinances. We're not gonna be the ones out there enforcing it. Just like a legislator in Baton Rouge passes a law, they're not the ones actually enforcing it. Is it supposed to be applied equally across the board? Of course. Is it gonna happen that way in practice? Maybe not. I don't know. It depends on what municipality, depends on what officer. There's a lot of factors that come into play. But to answer your question, yes, it should be applied across the board equally.
But here's what happens, because I was actually one of the committee members on the planning commission that helped author this ordinance. And what happens is, when you say y'all are not out there enforcing it, that's right, none of you 9 jurors are gonna be out there enforcing it, but when it's said and done, who created it, it's gonna be the 9 jurors who created it, or passed it, and put it in the law. So you may not be out there enforcing it per se individually, but you created the law that the sheriff department is enforcing, the state police is enforcing.
I agree.
So what we're saying is that, take for instance, the city of Marksville, they have the annual 4th of July parade. We're saying that they can't have the parade unless we approve it. Is that what we saying?
They close down the whole highway. You know that, Mr. Clyde, they've always done that
Yeah.
over the years.
But
Matter of fact,
I'm like,
Kessler did it for the election when I was running for a police jury. They closed down the highway for 3 hours. They couldn't get to the polls. Like, they do things in these towns that you start reading this and it's like, okay, I'm just saying, but don't go and pounce on somebody outside or in the parish because whether the police jury or the sheriff or somebody wants to go point them out. That's where I have questions, and I might raise my hand, Mr. Benson, but just to say, don't we have already a mass ordinance in place right now today, Mr. Sam?
Yes.
And hasn't that served us? I think so. I haven't heard any problems. But then the third thing I would say is, doesn't the sheriff have the knowledge and the manpower to police every one of these things throughout the parish? But why wouldn't that be a sheriff thing? It is, and I'm just giving us, I'm talking. I'm not saying that, I'm just saying, why not the sheriff?
A no vote will revert it back to that ordinance.
But you understand what I'm saying, Mr. Sam? And all of a sudden you pass this ordinance in.
It's
He
not
could come here
necessarily a
with
good
his
ordinance.
rodeo thing he has, and he could have the XYZ come, and then all of a sudden we're in the middle of this for what?
Travis, I'm reading to answer your question, I'm reading directly. Any person wishing to operate, maintain, or conduct a mass meeting within the confines of the parish and outside of the city boundaries must first obtain a mass gathering permit to do so.
This is the whole parish.
Outside of municipalities.
Each town that passed it, adopted.
So you're saying we would tell the people outside of municipalities, we passed this.
That's what it says.
But inside the municipalities, they could shut down or,
But they adopted.
That's what this says.
and we don't have control, but I mean, I don't know, I just look at it, it's fair across the board for all of the Avoyelles Parish. That's my only stance to this.
So the
Fair
question on the
across the
label,
board.
city limits of Mansura,
So this doesn't apply to city limits of Mansura?
it says outside city boundaries.
And so if Mansour doesn't adopt this, this ordinance, then they can do their ordinance, their own ordinance, let's say within our municipality.
Every
We don't
single
have to abide to that, we
municipality
can do
has
this.
their own very, very.
General government body.
And I think, Travis, that was kind of your original question.
That's kind of my thing, like, so we're gonna make it stricter on people outside the municipalities than inside. But actually, the municipalities are where the population is at, and where more people gather, so shouldn't we be focused on that inside the municipalities?
Okay, here,
But
okay.
that's just my.
Let's move, but here's the point. You've done the work. I've introduced it, you've read it. We will have a public hearing, okay? And at that public hearing, if we get in this type of discussion, we can make the decision whether or not we want to go with this. And we've heard good valid points. I mean, I've heard good points.
But if we don't have no motion, then it just dies.
But I want to reiterate that what Mr. Pierce said, that the sheriff was the one that came with it to the planning commission with it. Okay?
Quite upset, I like.
And I'm sure he has to get involved with the municipalities also when they have functions.
So if we vote for it, this would be a good way to bring it to the public, and have that public hearing.
We can't vote on it tonight.
Yeah, only vote in a public hearing.
Yeah,
for
that's what I'm
next
saying.
meeting.
That's the purpose of the public hearing.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, then we'll vote after the public hearing.
And that's
just
what I'm
like-
saying, vote to bring it to the public hearing,
Yeah,
so we can see what the public says.
it's going to the public hearing.
5 that come
We're
here
not
versus
voting on
the
anything.
40,000.
We just introduced it. It'll be in the paper, I think.
Yep.
So the public will have a chance to read it and so forth.
Sorry, I just wanted to give my thoughts.
And don't need to apologize. Very, good points were brought up. Okay? But I mean, again, reiterate, the sheriff was the one that came to us with it.
Yeah,
Okay?
and he's totally right.
Okay, all right. All right. Number 17, Mr. Pierce.
So we don't have to vote down
No,
public hearing?
no.
We're not gonna vote for the public hearing?
When's the public hearing will be held?
Well, how we gonna have a public hearing if we don't vote to him?
So we gotta have the public hearing because I've introduced this.
You gotta have a motion.
Okay, yeah.
I'll make a motion.
We don't need a motion. It's on back. It's gonna be a public hearing on it.
Oh, okay.
It was just like the same thing with all the ordinances we've been doing.
We've always voted to have a public hearing on it. Yeah. You
Okay.
can't just, say we're gonna have a public hearing and not vote.
But, okay, all right.
So you
I'm
understand
not
what I'm
explaining myself well, okay, but we'll go ahead and vote on it then. We got a motion to send this to a public hearing. All right, motion by Mark, I get a second. All right, second, okay. Question or comments? If it don't pass tonight, it ain't going to public hearing. So it's dead, okay?
That's correct.
Okay, so that's 3 months of work for nothing.
So what date are you gonna set the public hearing?
The next meeting. Which is September 1, I don't know the date. Question, comments from the audience? I'm susceptible, that's just because we didn't have, it hasn't been presented to the public. It's just been a plan commission and this jury, okay? So, I don't know. All right, but we're gonna vote on it, All in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Me.
I got two opposition. All right, motion carries. There will be a public hearing. Next meeting, which is September 10th, okay. All right, number 17, Sam.
I make a motion that we approve the Charles Austin, Trudy Poray, Lambert Investment Properties, and Cody Coco plats of survey. They did everything we asked them to do in the planning commission, everything is correct.
All right, have a motion. Second by Mr. Coco. Discussion by the jurors. Comments from the audience. Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Number 18, I need somebody to make a motion, because this is my district, I don't want to pass the baton, but to abandon and make private GL Strange Road.
I'll leave that motion.
All right, motion by Mark, second by Mr. Thomas. Okay. We had a public hearing before. Any questions, comments from jurors? Audience? Everybody don't even know where GL Strange Road is.
Is that where Gerald is?
Yeah. It's on Ruby Center Point. It's not, okay. All in favor, all in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Mr. Franks, number
Yes, sir.
19.
First the motion to replace Cody Barlow with Jared Cuneo on the planning commission.
Okay. I guess
Jared is with us today. Very, very experienced, and I think would be a big help and to the planning commission. I'm happy that he's told me yes, that he would want to give more of his time to the parish.
Surveying brain power. Yeah, always use that.
What district?
Yeah, don't lie, you want a lot of good time.
This is just, that's what Travis is. All right,
He comes to a lot of the meetings.
he's there most of the time, and most of the survey questions he answers.
Big asset.
Okay.
Asset to the planning commission.
All right, I agree with that. Question, comments from the audience? All right, hearing none, all in favor of putting Jared on the committee, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Welcome aboard.
I have something I'd like to say.
Go ahead.
I'd like to thank this jury for having confidence in me, and I guarantee you I will not let y'all down in my duties and responsibilities.
We've already seen that. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, number 20, authorize payment of attorney fees for the coroner, Vincent Simmons suit.
Did you find out a DA representative?
We got Mr. ADA.
What's the question?
You're talking about the
Vincent Simmons.
attorney fees for the coroner.
The police jury is a defendant, and so is the district attorney's office itself. So that presented a conflict. We can't represent ourselves and the police jury. So the police jury is represented by an outside attorney. I believe this motion is because the coroner is also a defendant in the case. This case has been going on for a while. I don't, maybe he didn't get served. I don't know why he's so late coming to the party. But I think this motion is to pay his attorney fees.
Correct. And Reed, you want to elaborate on why we have to pay them?
The law.
Well, I'm just for our benefit. I know we had some precedent cases.
The law says that the police jury is responsible for all necessary and proper expenses for the coroner's office in order to carry out his functions. There's been some back and forth cases about, funding of coroner's offices, and some of those cases have indicated that the payment of attorney fees is included in that. So it's up to y'all.
Mr. Frank?
Mr. President, I would like to first the motion, and trying to be, all of us are good stewards of the taxpayers' money. Because of the different cases that Mr. Jonathan talked about, some happen in favor of the coroner. Supreme Court said no, and yes, we don't know. So why don't we ask the Attorney General's opinion and get Jonathan to draft something for us? When it comes back, then we can make the necessary decision. What about that? Jonathan, how long the timeline does that take?
I could draft a letter to the Attorney General asking for their opinion and have it sent to them by email tomorrow, day after. Now, when they respond to me, I can't guarantee that.
But it will get back to us.
Generally speaking, 30 to 45 days.
Mr. President, wouldn't order of business be make a motion second and then make a motion to table it?
Well, we are discussing without a motion, so. All right.
And I'll make a motion.
You'll make a motion to authorize the payment?
Yes.
Okay, got a motion to authorize payment attorney fees for the coroner. Do I have a second?
Why?
Do I have a second? All right. I don't have a second, that motion's going. It's dead, okay? Now, Travis, you gonna make your motion to ask for Attorney General's opinion?
I first a motion, Mr. President, to seek Jonathan to write a question to the Attorney General, get an opinion from them, and then proceed after. Okay. I'm not against paying for it if we have to the coroner and Dr. James Borlow does a great job. That's not it. Again, this police jury has always said yes, yes, yes for so many years, and we have limited budgets. And if you would, people looking at these budgets, you'd be concerned too. And that's all I'm saying. Let's just be good stewards, find out what we have to, let the Attorney General come back, and we'll go from there.
That motion's been made
first.
Let me get a second.
Mr. President.
We got it, guys, come on. You gotta make a motion, you gotta second it, and then we need to
Let's add
discuss.
something to the agenda, Mr.
Okay.
President, that's not on there.
You correct. You correct, okay.
So as a question, since they've been served, who's gonna file a responsive answer and not have to file judgment in federal court? Because you have 21 days from service, and it's been about 15.
See, I was trying to do all that the right way.
So who's gonna be responsible for paying the judgment?
Why didn't we get it done 15 days ago in the last time? We just found out about it too.
We sent it to the DA as soon as it was served.
Yeah.
So federal court, you have 21 days to file a responsive pleadings to a petition.
Jonathan, can we respond,
I mean,
can you respond that for them or not?
We can't, the district attorney's office can't do it because we have a conflict of interest. And
So
we-
by the police jury not voting, they're
We can't be
subjecting the
involved.
parish to a default judgment.
Who's the attorney?
So,
On what?
Yeah.
City Parish.
Clifford. No, and I'm not against, I'm just saying, you authorize just for legal
And-
fees. I mean,
That's the-
what is
that's
the
the
amount?
procedural.
What is the amount?
But
How long does
we
it
were
take?
we were also in the case, and we got relieved, and
You hired private counsel to do that.
sure did.
So you're gonna hire private counsel for the police?
That was
jury?
last year.
Oh, hey, I'm just asking for Attorney General's opinion. That's all I'm asking for.
I understand.
There is law that and you're the lawyer, not me, but it
I'm
says
aware.
it kind of both ways. I'm not a lawyer, but you can read it. It's pretty black and white.
Oh, no,
So,
I'm aware.
I mean, so what do you do? Just
So
say
if you take
yes,
the-
and if it's 100,000, here goes
So
100,000.
if you have a
know?
$5 million default, Joe?
I don't know anything about that. It hasn't been presented to me. No, I'm just being honest with you. I don't know.
I'm just saying.
This just got in our lap how many days ago when it's over.
We get stuck all the time. There was no motion was to do it, and it failed because of lack of second. No, that means I can't make the motion because it's not part of the agenda. You have to be, I had to add it at the end. So, I don't want to see us turned into attorneys, but I mean, I know we just missed,
The proper thing,
reconsider the motion.
the proper thing is to second the motion and then table it and give it to Mr. Travis. That was the proper form.
We can end up paying you, I promise you.
So can we go back,
Well, we don't need no court headaches.
can we go back and do that?
We can reconsider the motion.
Go back and-
Try to make the motion, we're gonna reconsider the motion.
Now, before y'all do that, the resolution just says to pay attorney fees.
Yeah.
That's kind of broad. I mean, that's just something y'all need to consider. It's up to y'all. But I mean, it's a very,
We can set the price.
well, no, but I mean, you can set a cap on things. I mean, this is open-ended. I mean, you approve this, you get a bill for $1 million next
We
month.
just print money.
Not to exceed $5,000. Okay, all right. Add, you wanna add a stipulation to your motion?
My motion was never in reference to pay. My motion was to follow procedure and get Mr. Travis to, for us to table and ask for Attorney General's, opinion. That was what I was trying to do, is follow proper procedure.
Of the time. Okay. You wanna make the motion with the cap?
Yeah, well, you have another option. You can authorize payment limited to filing an answer. And in the meantime, figure out or authorize me to get an Attorney General opinion. That way you're protected from a potential default judgment and you don't just have an open-ended, never-ending bill that you just approve.
That's the motion I'm making.
Well said.
Okay.
All right, well,
Motion been made by Mr. Burrell.
I second.
All right, second by Mr. Benson.
And what was that motion? So I didn't hear the same.
So that's still on.
Yeah.
You want me to repeat it, or him to repeat it?
Corey, can you repeat
Wait,
that?
a limited motion to authorize the attorney to file an answer only, and to authorize me to request an attorney general opinion on payment of the costs.
So with that motion, I can give you some insight as to where we're at.
It's about price wise?
About price wise, about where we're at with the coroner's office, with the representation and the attorney general.
Where are you?
So the coroner's office has retained private counsel, the DA's conflicted out. We signed a representation agreement there. They are working to get an extension of time to answer. And we have sent a request to the attorney general's office asking them to represent us. It's up to the attorney general to say that they're either gonna accept or decline the representation. They've been out of the office, and as of 4:45, they don't have an answer as of yet.
But that's a possibility.
Well, I couldn't because no one took up the question.
When you asked that question too with the attorney general,
What
but
he's
then all of a
saying
sudden
is- yeah.
Charlie said, no.
They've already set that in motion.
That's what I'm saying.
So-
Then it's on our agenda. It comes on our agenda like this, I wish,
Yeah, I mean, if I'd have known that, I mean, that,
we,
Everything's been sent. From what I understand, the representation agreement's been sent. Everything's been provided. to the
why can't this come back? Why do we have to move forward with this?
Because we have private counsel that you need to approve payment of private counsel's fees to protect the parish and the coroner's office until we get an answer
Okay,
from the
all
attorney
right.
general.
Go ahead and finish your motion then.
okay. So it would be a limited motion to allow payment of attorney fees for the limited purposes of an extension or filing of an answer.
An answer or a 12B6 motion.
Right, until we can obtain an attorney general opinion as to the payment of the expenses, or the attorney general actually providing representation to the court.
So we got two lawyers already.
Got all
asking.
that, Jay?
Yeah.
Got it.
So we got double, attorney general's gonna get it 2 ways, okay.
You got my motion?
I got it. Question, comment?
You gotta say it.
You second, Mr. Benson second. Question, comments from juror? Oh, we. Question, comments from audience?
Thank you to this gentleman over here for clearing all that up for y'all.
He's an attorney.
Well, we've had open-ended lawyer agreements before, they never turned out good, and it was always a high price. That's why I've kind of been trying to make my comments.
Okay.
Not you, sir.
All in favor of the
Just
motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, 21 is authorize the NFL Dream League to lease the Picard Educational and Rec Center in Bay Hill. That should be changed to our name. I don't know what it is. We'll find out. For flag football, the league will pay $2,000 for the season. Before I entertain a motion, I'm gonna ask a question. Did you see anything in that saying that we can't charge?
There's something that says that we have to get approval to sublease it, but I mean, it's a formality.
Okay, so that's
And Mr. President, I would like to have a motion to allow the Dream League and not to charge the $2,000. And also in my motion to require them to have the correct sanitation, I don't know what you call it, probably the right word bodies.
Yeah, but Jamal
He
knows how
said
to
he
do
was
that.
already gonna do it, just as long as it's in the motion that he's required for that. He was allowed to use the little freezer, and I would say not charge them anything. I think it's a great thing that they're doing there in the
All
Bay
right.
Hills, and I would say no charge.
But that's what the state was, before we make the motion, I talked with Darrell, and that's what the state was charging, because I talked to Jamal, I asked him how much would have been paying, he said anywhere from $2,000 to $3,200. So that's why I put that in there, but we can do that. So the motion's been made to go ahead and do it without $2,000. Second by Mr. Cruz. Okay, comments?
Yeah. Can we do that without charging?
Yeah.
Free.
Yeah.
The motion.
Well, because I think you can get away with it in this situation because provides a public benefit. So that, I think that would probably pass muster. I think you can get away with it. Normally, generally speaking, you can't give away anything.
I'd like to, we
But
need
in
to
this
all get a
situation-
copy of the lease agreement. I have it. We need to send it all the jurors that have it.
That was my only question. It's not that I didn't do it if we could. I
Again, this is coming from left field.
Yep.
For the baseball tournament.
Literally coming from left field.
And as of right now.
We're gonna start a left field fund.
As of right now, it's ours.
Right, been ours since January.
We're releasing it.
And that's the middle section. You know,
We're supposed to be upkeeping it, so we're gonna go meet Monday.
The left section.
Okay. Question or comment, any more from jurors? Question or comments from the audience? Okay, yes, ma'am.
Is there a charge to attend these events and whatnot? Does-
I can't answer that.
Yeah.
I believe there
They
is.
pay for everything with donations.
Donation.
Most of the money comes from donations and from the families that support those kids.
I got you, okay. So if I want to come and watch a game or whatever, there's no charge, or do they charge?
Okay. All in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. All right. Number 22, advertise for a housing inspector. Get a motion. Motion by Mr. Burrell, seconded by Mr. Thomas. All right. Anybody have something to say about that up here?
He'll be doing the same thing Larry was doing?
Yeah. Larry was leaving. Okay. Question and comments from the audience? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Number 23, Mr. Franks.
Jurors, just brought it to your attention about GPSs in vehicles. Brought up in committee, guys, hopefully safe driving. Obviously, the tracking of where our employees are, where our equipment is, when it's running. I've said this, I think, before I even was elected, that I would like to see that. I worked for a private business. We had GPSs on our vehicles, and again, I had no problem with it. I don't think that any employee is doing anything wrong. That's not where I'm coming from, but I think accountability, also that data that we can have in the event of a wreck, or there's a lot of positives that are to it. And when I have a mulcher or I have a ditch digger that's in my area, again, I would want all 9 jurymen to have that app, and they can find out wherever every piece of equipment is, every truck, set of geofencing, that when they leave the parish, you know, or you were in your truck on a Saturday. I mean, those things, we need to know where our equipment is. And it's not our equipment, it's the people's equipment, but it's the people's money. And I think that for the charges on the GPSs, it's very minimal versus what the benefits are in this. Again, this is not something that employees are doing wrong. I just think that it's accountability, might save on insurance a little bit, but again, I think that it's needed, and it's just that's my opinion. So I just brought it to you guys.
Are you making that motion?
I make the motion to do it. You know, the motion is in these 2 amounts. Again, there's one that the total is starting. The startup is $1,000, and the monthly is $488. We can put a roundabout number if you want. Again, I just got these 2 quotes. I'm working with Kevin right now to get exactly the number of vehicles and the pieces of equipment. I just, again, I was motion, feel like the police jury, see where you're at.
All right, motion been made to add GPS tracking device for all vehicles
and equipment.
Second by Mr. Pierce.
And I have a comment.
Okay, all right.
I would also like for us to look at it forward and rear facing cameras in all of our vehicles too, for our own safety.
All right.
I got a comment.
All right, Mr. Benson.
I'm the chairman of the maintenance committee. And I think this should have been brought before the maintenance committee. You look at it as a whole before we brought to the meeting and take it forward. That's my opinion.
All right.
And I thought that's how we did stuff.
Any other comments from yours?
How do you feel about it, Kevin?
I don't know anything about it right now.
got several pieces of equipment I wouldn't put it on.
Yes.
We got several trucks I wouldn't put it on. And what vehicles we're gonna do, I mean, you got permit, you got, courthouse, you got, you know, what vehicles we're gonna put them on. I have a lot of vehicles that, those, you know, I have a lot of 15, 20-year-old vehicles that only run to chase other units. I don't know why I spend money on a GPS tracker for them.
But the equipment, you know, it's going through.
All the new
corrosion.
equipment already has it on there.
Huh?
All the new equipment has it on there, just gotta keep it updated with Cat and John Deere.
Which is very expensive.
No, sir. So it's, you know, the tracking's on there already, and it shows us our data on all our engines and everything.
You can send that down to us too, Mr. President.
Huh? And the first time I get
We need
I gotta say, the
sound
first
like we
time I
need
get
to
a
talk
call
about
and I'm
this.
busy from a juror, wanting to know why a piece of equipment's been sitting there for 5 hours, we're not gonna have a very good conversation.
I thought the motion was to look at it.
No, the motion was to,
Purchase it.
well, we can clarify it. We can clarify,
Let's
Mr.
look
Will,
at it.
right?
Read the motion again.
So what's the actual motion?
To purchase GPS tracking device for vehicle and equipment. Is that correct?
No, it says Travis running GPS. I mean, I would want a motion for it to purchase the GPSs. You cannot second or not vote on it. That's my opinion. I wanna know. That's all I'm saying.
Well, hang on.
But I offer an amendment to the motion.
That's so, yeah.
You can even table it.
Well,
It sounds like to me it needs to be some discussion.
yeah, I would like to table this and discuss it and figure out exactly what we want and how we want it.
All right.
Well,
And
like,
table it to who?
Like you said, bring it to the committee.
Bring it to the committee, absolutely.
You want to make a motion to table it?
Making a motion to table.
Okay.
I'll second.
All right, second by Mr. Benson to table this. All right, any discussion? Comments? Ms. Wiley, you had your hand up on it.
Well, I think y'all, if it goes that way, y'all are gonna table it, which is where I was gonna go. Mr. Benson brought up a very good point based on what Travis said, that now he didn't know exactly how many vehicles. How can you vote to install something when you don't have the complete accurate information? How many vehicles it would be installed on? And if what Mr. Benson was saying is if that went before the maintenance committee first, that's all something that they would have discussed, so you actually have facts and figures, how many vehicles, what vehicles, what, for a motion to come before the jury for y'all to actually vote to invest any kind of money. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's why we tabled it.
But if y'all are gonna table it, then that gives sufficient time to get that information.
Okay, if you're gonna table this, let me just clarify, are we sending this where? Maintenance, or do you want, we wanna?
Maintenance committee.
All right. Any other comments from the audience? All right, hearing none, all in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Just to be clear now, that we need to discuss it and work it out, and we want some GPS on there. I mean, that's,
And forward and rear looking cameras also.
okay, all right. All right, Ernest is not here, so I need somebody to approve trust of the board to attend housing conference September 16th to 20. All right, Mr. Benson makes the motion, second by Mr. Burrell. Any comments from the jurors? Question or comments from the audience? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Number 25, Mr. Benson.
That's on the work done at the flood.
It's an annual recertification we have to do every year.
Oh,
for all
okay.
systems.
The United States Congress mandate that all structures defined as bridges located on all public roads should be inspected. I'm just asking for a motion to,
Resolution.
a resolution to do what is required for all.
Okay, motion to adopt all system bridge resolutions. Second, by Mr. Thomas. Question and comments? Question and comments from the audience? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Number 26, need a motion granting the Secretary Treasurer to pay all bills and waive the reading of the whole. Motion by Mr. Thomas, second by Mr. Coco. Any discussion up here? Comments from the audience? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Motion by Mr. Thomas, second by, second by, you want to stay, by Mr. Spears. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Let's go. Thank y'all.
Yeah, I know. Good to see
I'll see you tomorrow. How are you, sir?